Geeks and Sports here with Ming Chen. What's up, man?
Yeah, what's up? What's going on? Geeks and Sports.
Awesome.
Listen to it, watch it.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, dude. Thanks. And hey, he's in it too.
Welcome, guys, to another edition of Geeks and Sports. And today, the topic will be Apple versus Android. Who wins this battle? Well, all right, guys. So currently, I am using the Apple iPhone 6. It is in gold because that's all they had available. I put a nice little cover on it. And it's 128 gig. I'm actually liking it very much. I have actually owned Android as well. I own the Note 2. I own the Galaxy S4. And my wife actually owned the Galaxy S5. Mrs. Geeks and Sports. Yes, she owned the Galaxy S5. We actually liked it. We have all switched now to Apple products. That's not to say that we had anything against Android. Like I said, not a fanboy one way or the other. We just preferred a cleaner, more simple OS. That's all it came down to. Plus, we were kind of looking for a change. It's like anything else. A lot of people leave from Apple to go to Android just for a change, just to try something new, get that old-fashioned new car smell, that new device smell, and just have a test run with something different, something new, something they haven't experienced. What I can say about Apple, like I said, I do like the fact that it's streamlined. I don't like the fact that 8.0 had so many bugs in it. Do I feel that 8.1 kind of took care of most of those things? Some of them, I don't see as much lag anymore. I don't see the bug on the icons anymore. Personally, I don't see it. I'm not saying anybody else has those things have gone away for them or not. Personally, I haven't seen them anymore. Now, the things I liked about Android were the fact that some of them were pros and cons in the same topic, like pros and cons in the App Store, in their Play Store. It was a pro that it's an open market, but it was a con. Sometimes I got some apps that didn't work quite so well. I had a lot of forced closures. I had a lot of issues with them, and it was sometimes it was apps that were rated really high, and I don't know if it was just my particular phone, my device that was having those issues, or if it was the actual app itself. But I found it as a good thing and a bad thing. It was a good thing because it was an open market. You weren't so restricted, but it was kind of bad because you weren't so restricted and it wasn't so closed down that I felt some of the apps slip through without being monitored as well as maybe Apple would have done with some of them. That's just my opinion. Now, another thing that I did love about Android when I had Android was the fact that you had so much creativity with it. You had so much customability with it. You could do, I mean, just the simple things like live wallpapers were something that I really did appreciate. The multitasking on the Note 2 that I was able to do really did seem to save a lot of time. And as much as people make fun of the S Pen, I think the S Pen was something that, calling it a stylus, I think the S Pen really did work. I think it does work. I think it works because the phone is so big. Do I think that the iPhone 6 Plus should have one? No, and the only reason is because it's not what Apple customers are used to. I don't know if that's something that they haven't incorporated an S Pen or an Apple Pen in their ecosystem. The one knock that Apple has is that their OS doesn't change very much. That it has very subtle changes and it's kind of behind the times. The one thing that I will say that Chris Pirillo has talked about, and he is somebody that I do go to, and Soldier Knows Best, another great YouTube reviewer, along with Techno Buffalo. Those three are probably the ones that I look at the most as far as reviews and technology. The one thing they have said about the OS is that they don't think that Apple can drastically move from the form that they have currently to a newer form so many leaps and bounds in between that it would confuse customers, that it would make customers feel that it's made too many changes. So I don't want to necessarily, I guess I don't mean to say confuse the customers. I guess I mean more to say the fact that it would be such a leap sometimes that the customers would be overwhelmed and off put by the product that they know. The main reason that Apple, I think, stays with or has such a loyal fan base is because that their OS doesn't change. So once again, on the Apple side, that's a pro and con within the same topic, in my opinion. It's because their OS doesn't change drastically, it makes some Apple fans feel like, man, this is boring, this is getting old, I want something new, and it drives them to Android, which is where they find those new and creative things. That's on the con side. On the pro side, I feel that because they do this, they keep so many fans in-house because they don't have to always learn something drastically new. I've heard from a lot of people that aren't real tech savvy, and from people that are tech savvy, that if you go from Apple to Android, sometimes Android can become so confusing that they want to go back to Apple for the simplicity. Now, by no means does that mean that because Apple is simpler to use, that it's for simple-minded people. There are some of the most educated people and some of the greatest people that do tech reviews that carry Apple devices and love it because it's sleek, because it's simple, because it's easy, because it's fast. So it has nothing to do with not knowing what you're talking about or not knowledgeable in tech. It's just what you prefer. There's some people that, I'll give you an example. Barnacules Nerdgasm. Barnacules was an Apple fan. He had Apple products. He had a terrible experience with Android. Now he's using an Android phone, a rooted Android phone, and he's having a ball with it. And that just goes to show that, you know, if you're not stuck into one OS, and if you're not locked into one company, that you can branch off and find things that are going to suit you better. So that's just an example. I'm an example of that. I had Apple to begin with. I switched to Android. I switched back to Apple. I switched back to Android, and now I'm back with Apple. So it has nothing to do with having to stay loyal. It's just whatever fits you best at that time. And like most things, if you start using something so often and you have it for so long, it's sometimes you just feel like you need that change. And that's what it was. I had nothing other than the forced closures on some apps and finding it a little more cumbersome to move from point A to point B at times with the Android device that I had. I felt like it was just more of I needed to put something different in my hand. And I could have went to a Windows device, which I did have. I had the Lumia 920 at one point in time. I wasn't a big fan of the live tiles. I wasn't a big fan of the setup. So my only other choice, really, in my opinion, unless I wanted to go BlackBerry, which I didn't want to go, my only other choice was to go back to Apple, to try it out again. And I am loving it. I'm having a great experience with it. Is that to say that I won't go back to Android again? Absolutely not. Just right now, for the time being, I'm liking what I have. And, you know, that doesn't mean that you guys have to go and switch. I mean, everybody be happy with what you worked for and paid your hard-earned money for. But yeah, this was a battle of, I wouldn't say a battle. I said that in the beginning. I shouldn't have said a battle. More of a, you know, this is an episode of, you know, what do you think? So what do you think? Do you think that Apple will always have that loyal fan base? Do you think Android will overtake it completely at some point in time? Do you feel Apple will ever reach Android's creativity? Do you feel that Apple loyalists want Apple to actually become Android and kind of go towards that direction? And you know, or are they happy with where the OS is now and just subtle changes here and there to make life a little bit easier? Because at the end of the day, that's really what it is. Technology is all about making life easier. There's so many things that without technology, our lives would be a lot harder. So, yeah, tell me what you think, guys. Tell me if you think that, are you an Apple fan and why? Are you an Android fan and why? And if you think that Android will ever completely take over Apple, and by that I mean a real strong sharehold over, you know, the smartphone market right now. So give me your opinion. And as always, guys, this is Jeremy with Geeks in Sports. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you like it. I really hope you do. If you have any advice, I'd love to hear it. But as always, guys, you have yourselves a great afternoon, great night, great day, whatever time that you're watching this. And this is Jeremy from Geeks and Sports. Take care.